Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pace of life? Constantly rushing from one task to the next, juggling careers, family, and endless responsibilities? What if the secret to a more fulfilling life isn't doing more, but doing less, and doing it more intentionally? In this video, I'll share 19 simple but powerful habits that have transformed my life, helping me find peace, joy, and presence in every moment. These habits may seem small, but their impact is profound, especially when embraced as part of a slower, more intentional way of living. From taking quiet moments to reflect each day to creating device-free spaces at home, these habits have helped me reconnect with what truly matters. As we grow older, we often realize that the real treasures in life aren't things, but the people we love, the moments we cherish, and the peace we find in simplicity. Whether you're looking to reclaim your sense of calm or deepen your connections with family and friends, this video will give you the tools to slow down, savor life, and make every moment count. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with practical, everyday habits that will help you live a more meaningful, joyful life. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's dive into these life-changing habits together. You won't want to miss this. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's begin. 1. 5 minutes of reflection. Among all the habits I've cultivated over the years, the practice of spending just 5 minutes in quiet reflection each day stands out as one of the simplest yet most transformative. In a world that seems to thrive on hustle, where every moment feels accounted for and measured against productivity, this brief pause has become a sanctuary for my mind and soul. It's as if these 5 minutes are a small rebellion against the chaos, a gentle declaration that my inner world deserves attention too. There is something profoundly comforting about the act of sitting still, allowing my thoughts to flow freely without expectation or judgment. It feels like a kind of homecoming, a rare moment when I can simply be. For someone who has spent years balancing responsibilities, whether in the workplace, within a family, or just navigating life's endless demands, these minutes feel like an invaluable gift, a quiet luxury that costs nothing but offers so much. In these reflective moments, I often find myself marveling at the tapestry of my life. I think about the roads I've traveled, the triumphs and mistakes, and how every twist and turn has shaped me. At this stage in life, there's a richness to these reflections that wasn't there before, a kind of clarity that comes only with time. It's as though these moments help me sift through my memories, separating the trivial from the profound, so I can treasure the lessons and leave behind the unnecessary weight. More than anything, reflection brings gratitude to the forefront of my heart. I find myself savoring the beauty of the small things, the laughter of a grandchild, the soft golden light of a late afternoon, the kindness of a friend who checks in just because. These are the moments that remind me of what truly matters in a world so often fixated on the superficial. But this habit isn't about emptying my mind or striving for perfect peace. Instead, it's about letting my thoughts settle, like a jar of water clouded with sand after being shaken. As the stillness takes hold, the noise begins to fade, and the important things, the truly meaningful things, start to emerge with gentle clarity. I often wonder why it took me so long to embrace this practice, but now that it's here, I cherish it deeply. These 5 minutes are more than just a pause in my day. They are a lifeline, a way to connect with my essence and remember who I am beneath all the labels and expectations. They remind me that life, in all its complexity, is still profoundly beautiful, and that sometimes the simplest moments are the ones that matter most. 2. Create device-free spaces. In a world saturated with relentless noise, much of it emanating from the devices that dominate our lives, finding moments of genuine peace can feel like a luxury. Phones, tablets, and TVs have seamlessly integrated into our daily routines, often becoming companions we rely on for everything: information, entertainment, and even comfort. But as I've come to realize, these ever-present screens can also create an invisible wall, distancing us from the serenity and human connection we deeply yearn for. One of the most transformative decisions I ever made was to establish device-free spaces in my home. These are intentional sanctuaries where technology is left behind, allowing me to be truly present for myself and those around me. My bedroom and dining room have become sacred zones where screens hold no power. The effects have been nothing short of profound. In the bedroom, without the glow of a screen tugging at my attention, I find solace and better rest. The absence of scrolling late into the night calms my mind, creating space for reflection and a deep, uninterrupted sleep. Waking up without the impulse to grab my phone first thing in the morning feels liberating. It's a quiet rebellion against the urgency of the digital world. Instead, I embrace the stillness, allowing myself to ease into the day with clarity and purpose. The dining room, now devoid of the hum of notifications and the pull of a nearby TV, has blossomed into a space of pure connection. Over shared meals with loved ones, conversations flow naturally, unhurried, and full of meaning. These moments, untainted by the interruptions of technology, remind me of the richness that exists in human interaction. And when I sit alone, I've discovered that even the simple act of reflecting in silence can be a source of joy and grounding. As the years go by, I've realized that these device-free spaces hold even greater value. They serve as a powerful reminder of the beauty that lies in the tangible world, the soft rustle of leaves outside the window, the warm aroma of dinner on the table, and the sparkle of a loved one's laughter. These moments, untouched by screens, offer a kind of fulfillment that no amount of scrolling can ever replicate. Creating these spaces isn't just a lifestyle change. It's a deeply emotional choice. It's about reclaiming our lives, cherishing the present, and fostering real connections in an increasingly disconnected world. It may seem like a small step, but it has the power to profoundly enrich our days, filling them with peace, presence, and a renewed appreciation for the world around us. 3. Drive the speed limit and enjoy the journey. There was a period in my life when everything felt like a race. Appointments, errands, obligations, all blurring together in a frenzy of constant motion. I remember the way my heart used to race as I darted from one commitment to the next, often speeding down roads with my mind already 2 steps ahead. It felt necessary at the time, as if hurrying was the only way to keep up with life's relentless pace. But as the years have passed, I've come to see things differently. Life isn't a competition with a finish line. It's a series of moments meant to be experienced fully. One simple but transformative habit I've adopted is consciously driving the speed limit. At first glance, it might seem trivial, just a rule to follow, but for me, it has become a profound practice. By deliberately slowing down, I'm reminded to take a breath, to let go of the rush, and to focus on the journey itself rather than just the destination. Driving at a steady, calm pace has taught me to notice the world in ways I never had before. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Have you ever seen sunlight as it dances through the trees, casting fleeting patterns on the ground? Or noticed how the world seems to breathe as you pass by? Children laughing in a park, shopkeepers arranging their wares, strangers sharing a quick smile at a crosswalk. These are the small but beautiful details that life offers us every day, and yet they often go unnoticed when we're moving too fast. For those of us who are older, with fewer pressing deadlines and more time to reflect, this practice can feel even more rewarding. There's a richness in slowing down, in being present for the subtle moments that might otherwise slip through our fingers. It's not just about safety on the road, although that's undeniably important. It's about choosing to savor the beauty and simplicity of the world as it unfolds around us. Personally, this shift has changed the way I approach not just driving but life itself. Slowing down has allowed me to replace stress with peace, urgency with gratitude, and impatience with curiosity. The journey has become the reward, not just something to endure. So the next time you're on the road, I invite you to try it. Drive the speed limit, not because you have to, but because you want to. Let it be a quiet act of mindfulness, a gift to yourself. You might be surprised by the clarity and joy that come from something as simple as pressing the brakes and letting the world catch up to you. Life is waiting to be noticed, All you have to do is slow down enough to see it. 4. Take the longer line. In a world where speed and efficiency are often glorified, the idea of deliberately choosing the longest line at the grocery store may seem perplexing, even absurd to some. Yet, for me, this small, seemingly trivial decision has become a profound act of rebellion against the relentless rush of modern life. It's a deliberate pause, a conscious choice to embrace patience and reconnect with a slower, more mindful way of living. Standing in that longer line, I've discovered a surprising richness in what might otherwise feel like wasted time. It's a chance to observe the gentle humanity unfolding around me, the warm smile of a cashier greeting each customer, the shy child clutching their parent's hand, or the quick, fleeting conversations between strangers that reveal our shared experiences. In these moments, I'm reminded of how often I overlook the beauty of simple, everyday interactions when I'm too focused on hurrying to the next task. This practice has taught me to release my tight grip on the clock and surrender to the present. The world won't fall apart because I've spent 5 extra minutes waiting. Those minutes have become a gift, an opportunity to breathe, to reflect, and to let go of the need to control every moment of my day. It's liberating, almost therapeutic, to realize that life doesn't demand us to race through it. Instead, it quietly invites us to linger, to savor, and to truly see the world around us. As I've grown older, I've come to understand that the value of life isn't measured by how much we accomplish in the shortest amount of time. It's in the quality of the moments we allow ourselves to experience fully. Choosing the longer line at the grocery store, as small and symbolic as it may seem, has become a way for me to practice this truth. It's a reminder that life's most meaningful moments often emerge in the unplanned, unhurried pauses, the moments when we stop running and simply are. So, when I find myself standing there, surrounded by the gentle hum of everyday life, I feel a quiet joy. It's not just about waiting. It's about learning to live fully, to find depth and meaning in the seemingly mundane. For me, taking the longer line isn't just a practice in patience. It's a celebration of the art of being present. And isn't that, after all, what truly matters? 5. Prioritize time with family. As I reflect on the years that have passed, I am struck by the profound truth that time spent with family is one of life's most precious gifts. There's an undeniable wisdom that comes with age, teaching us that the bonds we share with loved ones, be it our children, grandchildren, or even lifelong friends, are irreplaceable treasures. These connections ground us, give us strength, and bring unparalleled joy. Looking back, I realize that the moments I've spent with my family have been the brightest chapters of my life, filling me with a sense of purpose that nothing else could match. I've made it a personal mission to prioritize these relationships, and it's a choice I hold close to my heart. Whether it's the laughter of my grandchildren as we play together on a sunny Sunday afternoon, the comforting silence of a shared meal with my spouse, or the heartfelt conversation during a late-night call with an old friend, these experiences bring a richness to my life that words can barely capture. Each of these moments feels like a small celebration of love, a reminder of the beauty in simply being together. As we grow older, our perspective shifts, and we begin to see time as the most fleeting and fragile resource we have. The days we spend with family become less about grand gestures and more about the simple, heartfelt moments, those quiet hugs, shared smiles, and meaningful conversations. I've come to believe that nurturing these bonds is not just important but essential. It's in these connections that we find our greatest legacy, the love we leave behind for the generations that follow. To me, family has always been the cornerstone of a fulfilling life. It's the foundation of who we are and the anchor that keeps us steady through life's storms. And so, I urge myself and others to cherish these relationships. Attend family gatherings, even when life feels busy. Offer a listening ear when a loved one needs to talk. Share the old stories, even if you've told them a dozen times before, because those stories carry the threads of our shared history. In these acts, no matter how small, we are reminded of the profound love that binds us together. And when I look into the eyes of my family, I see not just the past or the present, but a future filled with hope, carried forward by the strength of these unbreakable bonds. Life is fleeting, but the love we share with family is eternal, and that is a truth worth holding on to with all our hearts. 6. Focus on one task each day. When we are young, life often feels like a race, as if accomplishing as much as possible in a single day is the ultimate measure of success. But as the years pass and we gain wisdom through experience, we come to understand that life isn't about checking endless tasks off a list. Instead, it's about dedicating our time and energy to what truly matters and doing it with care and intention. This realization led me to adopt a simple but profoundly fulfilling habit: focusing on just one meaningful task each day. For me, this might mean sitting down to write a heartfelt letter to someone I love, spending an hour nurturing my garden as I breathe in the scent of fresh soil, or sifting through old photographs and reliving cherished memories. Each day, I choose a task that resonates with me deeply, something that adds value to my life or brings a sense of peace to my heart. In those moments, I permit myself to be fully present, slow down, and immerse myself in the process. There's an almost meditative quality to this practice, a quiet joy in knowing that my energy is not scattered, but instead directed towards something worthwhile. What I've discovered through this approach is not just the satisfaction of completing a task, but the emotional richness that comes with it. It's incredibly liberating to let go of the pressure to be endlessly productive. The long to-do lists that once loomed over my days have been replaced by a sense of calm and clarity. Focusing on one thing at a time reminds me that it's not the number of tasks we accomplish that defines a meaningful life, but the depth and care with which we accomplish them. This practice has also taught me the beauty of savoring the little moments. When I write that letter, I picture the smile it might bring to its recipient. When I tend to my garden, I feel connected to the earth in a way that grounds me. And when I organize those photographs, I'm reminded of the stories, the laughter, and the tears that have shaped my journey. Each of these moments carries a quiet, profound joy that stays with me long after the task is done. For anyone, but especially for those of us in later stages of life, this approach can be a source of great comfort and fulfillment. It's a gentle reminder that we don't need to rush, that we don't need to prove ourselves by how much we can do. Sometimes, the greatest joy lies in doing one thing with our whole heart, knowing that we have poured our energy into something meaningful. In those moments, we find not only accomplishment but also peace. 7. Plan tomorrow tonight. One of the most transformative yet straightforward habits I've embraced to bring order and tranquility to my life is planning for the next day the night before. It may seem like a small act, almost trivial, but the difference it makes is remarkable. Each evening, I take a few quiet moments to map out the day ahead, scribbling down my top priorities in my planner, setting out the clothes I'll wear, and ensuring my morning coffee setup is ready to go. These seemingly minor actions create an undeniable ripple effect, setting the tone for a morning that feels calm, purposeful, and in control. This habit has taken on even greater significance as I've grown older. There's a unique peace in knowing that the chaos of tomorrow is already tamed, at least in part, before my head hits the pillow. Waking up without that anxious mental scramble. What do I need to do today? Did I forget anything important? Is a gift I give myself every night. Instead, I rise with clarity and direction, feeling less like I'm reacting to the day and more like I'm leading it. For those of us who find our memory isn't as sharp as it once was, this nightly ritual can also serve as a lifeline. It's a way to ensure we don't miss important appointments, meaningful social engagements, or those small daily tasks that keep life running smoothly. But beyond the practical benefits, there's an emotional weight lifted, a lightness that comes from knowing you've done your best to prepare for what's to come. This habit isn't just about organization. It's about creating mental space for the things that truly matter. When I take a few minutes to plan, I'm gifting myself the ability to focus on the joys of the day ahead rather than being bogged down by unnecessary worries. It's an act of self-care, a quiet promise that I'll meet tomorrow with grace and purpose. And honestly, isn't that the kind of peace we're all striving for? 8. Wake up with consistency. Establishing a consistent wake-up routine is one of the most transformative habits I've embraced to simplify and enrich my life. Each morning, I wake up at the same time, regardless of the season or day of the week. This single act has given me a profound sense of structure and stability in a world that can often feel unpredictable. There's something almost magical about being awake before the rest of the world stirs, those precious, serene moments where the air feels still and the day holds endless promise. For me, this time has become sacred. It's when I brew my favorite cup of coffee, savoring its warmth as I settle into a quiet corner. Sometimes, I read a book that inspires me or reflects on my intentions for the day ahead. Other times, I simply sit in silence, letting the calm of the early hours wash over me. These rituals may seem small, but they ground me in the present and bring a comforting sense of rhythm to my life. Especially in retirement, when our schedules can become fluid and undefined, maintaining this simple habit has been a lifeline. It anchors my day, offering a sense of purpose and control that keeps me from feeling adrift. More importantly, waking up with consistency has taught me the beauty of pacing myself intentionally. Instead of starting the day feeling rushed, overwhelmed, or reactive, I begin with a calm and steady mindset that allows me to navigate challenges with grace. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. I've realized that these quiet moments are not just practical, they are deeply nourishing. They remind me that life's joys are often found in its simplest rituals. For anyone seeking clarity, balance, or even a renewed sense of self, I cannot recommend this habit enough. It's more than a way to wake up, it's a way to live. 9. Write it down. As we grow older, it's only natural that our memory doesn't function as effortlessly as it once did. This realization can sometimes bring a sense of frustration or even self-doubt, but I've discovered that adopting a simple habit, writing things down, can transform how we manage our lives. For me, this practice has been nothing short of liberating. Whenever I note down a grocery list, an appointment, or even a fleeting thought, I feel a sense of relief, as if I've lifted a weight off my mind. It's not just about staying organized. It's about reclaiming control and ensuring that I don't let the busyness of life blur the truly important details. The beauty of writing things down lies in its simplicity yet profound impact. It's as though my notebook, calendar, or phone becomes an extension of my mind, a reliable companion that holds onto the things I might otherwise lose in the whirlwind of daily life. I've found this practice to be particularly invaluable for keeping track of creative ideas or long-term projects. Sometimes, when I revisit an old note, it feels like rediscovering a hidden treasure, a reminder of a dream, a goal, or a thought that once inspired me. This habit becomes even more significant as life grows more complex with age. Doctor's appointments, social commitments, or precious moments with family can pile up quickly, creating mental clutter that's difficult to navigate. Writing them down doesn't just ensure they're remembered, it allows me to focus on the present without the nagging fear of forgetting something important. I find a certain comfort in this ritual. Something is grounding about taking pen to paper or typing out a quick note on my phone. It's a moment to pause and acknowledge what matters. In those small acts of recording, I feel more connected to my priorities and, ultimately, more at peace with the flow of life. For anyone feeling overwhelmed, I'd wholeheartedly recommend this practice. Whether you prefer a beautifully bound journal, a planner, or the convenience of a digital app, writing things down can truly be a lifesaver. It's not just about managing tasks, it's about creating space in your mind for the things that truly bring you joy and meaning. It's a small habit with the power to transform how you experience each day, allowing you to embrace the present moment with clarity and calm. 10. Finish what you start. There's a deep and almost indescribable sense of fulfillment that comes from finishing something you've started. It's not just about crossing items off a to-do list. It's a feeling that resonates within, a calm assurance that you've honored your efforts and intentions. Whether it's finally completing a home project that's been lingering for months, finishing a book that's been gathering dust on the shelf, or having that heartfelt conversation you've been putting off, the act of following through is transformative. It's a reminder that we're capable, determined, and true to our word, both to ourselves and to others. When I reflect on my younger years, I can't help but recall the countless times I would dive into something with boundless enthusiasm, only to let it fall by the wayside as distractions, responsibilities, and life's never-ending demands crept in. Back then, unfinished tasks were just a part of life, a forgotten hobby here, a half-painted wall there. But as I've grown older, I've realized that leaving things undone carries an unseen weight. It's as if these unfinished projects quietly clutter not only our physical space but also our mental and emotional one, whispering reminders of what we left behind. Making it a point to finish what I started has changed my life in profound ways. I've come to understand that every small act of completion is a victory, a celebration of effort, and a step toward inner peace. Fixing a broken chair in the living room may seem mundane, but the satisfaction of seeing it whole again feels like tying up loose ends in the story of my day. Completing a puzzle isn't just a pastime, it's a testament to patience and persistence. And reading the final page of a book I've been slowly savoring feels like closing a chapter of my journey, leaving me ready for the next. For older adults, this practice takes on an even deeper meaning. With time, each task we complete feels like a way of honoring the moments we've invested. It's a quiet celebration of our ability to see things through, no matter how small or grand. There's a sense of dignity in finishing what we begin, a way of telling ourselves that our time and energy matter, that our commitments, however simple, are valuable. I find that finishing what I start creates space not just in my home or schedule but also in my heart. It clears away mental clutter and opens the door to fresh ideas, new adventures, and unexpected joys. Each completed task is like a weight lifted, leaving room for hope, growth, and the discovery of what's next. And that, I believe, is one of life's simplest yet most profound pleasures. 11. Stay calm in the face of adversity. Life has a way of throwing challenges at us when we least expect them. Over the years, I've come to understand a profound truth. While we can't control every twist and turn of life, we hold the power to decide how we respond. It's a lesson that has taken me years to embrace fully, one of the hardest yet most rewarding things I've learned. Staying calm in the face of adversity has become a cornerstone of my philosophy, a guiding light that helps me navigate both the calm seas and the raging storms of life. I won't pretend it's always easy. There have been moments when anger boiled within me, when frustration clawed at my heart, or when sadness felt overwhelming. These emotions are a natural part of being human, and I've learned not to deny them but to recognize and acknowledge them. Yet, through trial and error, I have realized that reacting impulsively, letting anger dictate my words or frustration drive my actions, almost always compounds the difficulty of the situation. Instead, I've found solace in a simple act: pausing, taking a deep breath, steadying my mind, and allowing myself the gift of a moment to think. It's in that moment of stillness that I reclaim control over myself, no matter how chaotic the world around me may seem. For those of us in our later years, this practice takes on even greater significance. Life has a way of presenting us with profound challenges. Health concerns that test our bodies, the heartache of losing loved ones, and the bittersweet passage of time. These experiences can easily overwhelm us if we let them. But staying calm has taught me to face even the most painful moments with a quiet strength. It's not about denying the pain or pretending the difficulties don't exist. It's about choosing not to let them consume me. Remaining calm in adversity is like finding an anchor in a storm. It keeps you grounded, giving you the clarity and strength to endure. It reminds me that even when I cannot control the winds or waves, I can still steer my ship. And there is a quiet beauty in that realization, a sense of peace that comes from knowing I have the power to choose grace and resilience over chaos and despair. In those moments of calm, I find the courage to hold on to hope, to cherish the love that remains, and to seek out the silver linings in life's darkest clouds. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And for that, I am profoundly grateful. 12. Choose gratitude over worry. Worry is a universal part of the human experience, a shadow that creeps into our minds, stealing moments of joy and tarnishing our peace. Over the years, as I've navigated life's inevitable twists and turns, I've come to understand a profound truth. Worrying rarely, if ever, changes the outcome of a situation. Instead, it acts as a thief, robbing us of the beauty and serenity of the present moment. For me, learning to choose gratitude over worry has been one of the most transformative habits I've developed. There are times when anxiety threatens to overwhelm me, whether it's about a loved one's health, uncertainties about the future, or events completely beyond my control. In those moments, I make a conscious effort to pause and redirect my thoughts. I reflect on the things that bring light into my life, the laughter of my children, the steady rhythm of my heartbeat, or even something as simple as the warmth of the morning sun streaming through my window. Shifting my perspective toward gratitude doesn't erase the problems I face, but it creates a calming clarity that reminds me I am more than my worries. This practice of gratitude is like a comforting anchor in a stormy sea. It pulls me back to the present, grounding me in the realization that life, though imperfect, is filled with countless blessings. I've noticed how gratitude can turn a seemingly ordinary day into something extraordinary. A morning cup of coffee becomes a sacred ritual, a bird song a melody of hope, a phone call from a dear friend a reminder of love's enduring presence. For older adults, I believe this practice is even more profound. As we age, we gain the gift of perspective and the ability to find joy in life's simplest pleasures. Gratitude allows us to savor these moments fully, to see not just the challenges but the small, precious joys that make life beautiful. It's about embracing the now, and recognizing that even amidst difficulties, there's always a reason to be thankful. I've found that gratitude doesn't just bring peace, it ignites a quiet strength. It reminds me that no matter what challenges come my way, I can face them with a heart anchored in thankfulness. Choosing gratitude over worry is not just a habit, it's a choice to live with intention, to find peace and beauty even in life's imperfections. And isn't that what makes life truly meaningful? 13. Grow through learning. Learning is not something we outgrow, nor does it have an expiration date. It is a lifelong gift that continuously renews our sense of purpose and joy. When I think about the journey of learning, I see it as a vibrant thread weaving through every stage of life, keeping our minds alive and our spirits curious. For me, the habit of growing through learning has been a source of immense fulfillment. Whether it's immersing myself in the pages of a new book, discovering fresh perspectives through an inspiring podcast, or diving into a class on a subject I've always been curious about, learning feels like an endless adventure. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. There's something profoundly enriching about the act of learning, especially as we age. It keeps us tethered to the pulse of the world and reminds us that no matter our years, we have infinite capacity for growth. I've come to cherish the way it keeps my mind sharp, my perspectives evolving, and my heart open to new possibilities. For older adults, this journey of lifelong learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about staying connected, engaged, and vibrant in an ever-changing world. I truly believe that learning is a way to honor ourselves. Each time we explore a new skill, pick up a hobby, or challenge ourselves with something unfamiliar, we're affirming that our potential is boundless. I've seen how even small steps, like taking up painting or learning to bake a new recipe, can spark joy and ignite a sense of accomplishment. It's an emotional reminder that we are never too old, never too late, to embrace the thrill of discovery. In my own life, learning has brought moments of wonder and inspiration. It has helped me feel more alive and more connected to the people and world around me. And so, I encourage everyone to take that leap, whether it's through something as simple as watching an educational video or as ambitious as mastering a new language. Growth through learning is not just about gaining knowledge. It's about enriching our lives with meaning, purpose, and the undeniable beauty of curiosity. 14. Disconnect from negative news. There was a period in my life when I couldn't go a day without checking the latest headlines, diving deep into every development, and feeling a strange sense of obligation to stay informed. At first, it felt empowering, like I was taking charge of understanding the world around me. But over time, I noticed how heavy it all felt. So much of the news is saturated with negativity, tragedies, conflicts, scandals, and I realized that it wasn't just informing me, it was draining me. I'd feel anxious about things I couldn't change, stressed by events happening miles away, and helpless about injustices I had no control over. It was exhausting. Eventually, I made the conscious decision to step back, and honestly, it was one of the most liberating choices I've ever made. I'm not advocating ignorance or turning a blind eye to the world's problems, but I believe in finding balance. We live in a time where information is constant and overwhelming, and it's so easy to let it consume us. By disconnecting from the relentless stream of negative news, I've gained more clarity and peace of mind. I've started focusing on what truly matters, things within my control, like my personal growth, my relationships, and my well-being. Now, instead of hours spent scrolling through distressing news or heated debates on social media, I dedicate my time to what brings me genuine joy. I lose myself in the rhythm of gardening, marvel at the stories I discover through reading, and cherish the warmth of moments with my family. These small, seemingly mundane activities remind me of the beauty in life, a beauty that is so often overshadowed by the chaos of the outside world. For older adults, especially those who may be more vulnerable to feelings of isolation or anxiety, disconnecting from negative news can be a profound act of self-care. It's not about indifference, but about protecting our mental and emotional health. It's about creating a safe space for our hearts and minds to breathe, free from the relentless noise of fear and despair. In this quieter, more intentional space, we can redirect our energy toward what truly matters, our passions, our loved ones, and the small joys that make life meaningful. In letting go of the constant negativity, we take a powerful step toward reclaiming our peace, and in doing so, we can nurture a deeper sense of hope, resilience, and gratitude. 15. Live within your means. One of the most profound and life-changing lessons I've embraced over the years is the importance of living within my means. In today's world, it's so easy to get swept up in the relentless pursuit of more. A sprawling house in the fanciest neighborhood, a shiny new car that turns heads, or the latest tech gadget promising to revolutionize our lives. I've felt that pull too, the fleeting thrill of imagining life surrounded by bigger and better things. But over time, I've realized that those fleeting joys pale in comparison to the deep, lasting contentment that comes from living a life rooted in balance, purpose, and financial mindfulness. Living within our means doesn't mean denying ourselves everything we want. Instead, it's about pausing to ask, what truly matters to me? I've learned that true happiness isn't something I can buy. It's found in the simple, meaningful moments. Sharing a home-cooked meal with loved ones, watching the sun dip below the horizon, or pursuing a hobby that fills my heart with joy. These moments are priceless, and they don't require maxing out credit cards or stressing over mounting debt. There's also a beautiful sense of freedom that comes with this approach. When I stopped chasing the endless cycle of consumerism, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. There's no longer that gnawing fear of whether I can make the next payment or that pressure to keep up appearances. Instead, I feel empowered. I can focus my energy on what truly matters, building relationships, nurturing my passions, and planning a future where I'm not burdened by financial worries. For older adults, this lesson carries even more significance. As we approach retirement and reflect on the legacy we want to leave, living within our means becomes not just a financial strategy, but an emotional one. It's about ensuring our hard-earned resources are spent wisely, allowing us to enjoy our golden years without the shadow of financial strain. This mindset isn't about sacrifice. It's about making intentional, thoughtful choices. It's about indulging in the things that bring us genuine joy while cutting out the unnecessary noise that distracts us from what's truly important. In doing so, we open the door to greater peace, deeper joy, and a life filled with meaning. When I look back, I am grateful for this lesson. It has transformed the way I see not just money, but life itself. Living within our means isn't a limitation. It's a gateway to the kind of freedom that lets us truly live. 16. Embrace the simple joys. As we journey through life and the years pass by, a quiet yet profound truth often emerges. The simplest things in life are the ones that hold the greatest meaning. A warm cup of tea on a chilly morning, the soothing rustle of leaves on a breezy afternoon walk, or the comforting presence of a loved one sharing a quiet moment by your side. These are treasures that bring genuine joy and peace. For me, embracing these simple joys has been a transformative habit, one that has brought a deeper sense of purpose and contentment to my later years. It hasn't always been easy, though. In my younger days, I often chased the next big thing, achievements, possessions, milestones, believing they were the key to happiness. But as time has softened my perspective, I've come to see that the magic of life lies not in those grand pursuits, but in the small, fleeting moments we often overlook. Now, I make it a point to slow down and truly live in the present. When I savor a homemade meal, it's not just food. It's a moment of gratitude for the love and care that went into preparing it. When I lose myself in a good book, it feels like a doorway into another world, a quiet escape that reminds me of the power of words and imagination. And when I sit on the porch and watch the sun dip below the horizon, I can't help but marvel at the beauty of nature's daily masterpiece, a sight so simple yet so profound. For older adults, I believe this practice of cherishing life's little gifts is even more meaningful. In a world that often measures worth by busyness or material success, pausing to acknowledge the present can feel like a quiet act of rebellion, a gentle reminder that fulfillment doesn't come from excess but from enough. The joy we seek isn't always found in exotic vacations or extravagant celebrations. It's often right in front of us, in the rhythm of everyday life. In moments like these, I feel a deep sense of connection, to myself, to the world, and to those around me. And that connection is what makes life rich, even in its simplest forms. So let us all embrace the small joys, not as an afterthought but as a way of living, because they are the ones that truly matter. 17. Let go of perfectionism. For so many years of my life, I was trapped in the endless pursuit of perfection. Whether it was my career, the way my home looked, or the way I showed up in relationships, I always felt the need to achieve some impossible ideal. I believed that if I could just get everything right, I would finally feel worthy, secure, or at peace. But as time passed and life unfolded in its unpredictable, messy way, I began to see the truth. Perfection is not only unattainable, it's a heavy burden that keeps us from fully experiencing the richness of life. Letting go of perfectionism has been one of the most freeing, transformative decisions I've ever made. Life, after all, is inherently imperfect. It's filled with ups and downs, unexpected twists, and moments of glorious chaos. And yet, it's within this imperfection that the real beauty lies. When I finally stopped striving to make every detail flawless, I found space to breathe, to embrace the messy reality of living, and to simply be. Instead of judging myself for falling short of an impossible standard, I now focus on doing my best, understanding that my best will look different on different days, and that's okay. This shift in mindset didn't happen overnight. At first, letting go felt like a failure. But with time, I realized that releasing perfectionism wasn't about giving up, it was about showing myself grace. It allowed me to trade relentless self-criticism for self-compassion. It taught me to value effort over outcome, connection over control, and authenticity over appearances. These lessons have brought me a deeper sense of peace than I ever thought possible. For those of us who have walked through decades of life, letting go of perfectionism becomes even more important. It gives us the chance to finally embrace who we are, flaws and all, and to focus on what truly matters. The warmth of love, the joy of genuine connection, and the simple beauty of being fully present in each moment. Life isn't meant to be perfect, it's meant to be lived. And in that messy, imperfect living, we often find the most profound happiness. So let's let go, permit ourselves to be human, and embrace the perfectly imperfect journey of life. 18. Spend time in nature. There's something profoundly healing and magical about immersing yourself in nature. Whether it's a gentle walk in the park, a hike up majestic mountains, or even just sitting quietly on your porch listening to the rhythmic chirping of birds, nature has an unparalleled ability to calm the restless mind and soothe the weary soul. For me, stepping outside into the embrace of nature feels like hitting a reset button on life's chaos. I've made it a personal ritual to connect with nature every day, even if only for a few precious minutes. In those moments, surrounded by trees, flowers, or even the open sky, I feel a deep sense of peace that no amount of technology or distraction can replicate. For older adults, this connection to nature carries an even greater significance. It's more than just an activity. It's a way to stay active, reduce the weight of stress, and rediscover a sense of tranquility that often gets lost in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Imagine the joy of tending to a garden, where each sprouting seed feels like a small miracle, or the simple pleasure of bird watching, where the sight of a colorful wing in flight can stir a sense of wonder. Even the fresh air, so often taken for granted, can feel like a gift when you stop and truly appreciate it. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. Spending time in nature reminds us that beauty doesn't always come with grand fanfare. It's in the gentle rustling of leaves, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, and the cool breeze that whispers secrets of the earth. It's humbling and awe-inspiring all at once, a quiet reminder of how vast and interconnected life truly is. To me, nature feels like a wise old friend, always ready to offer comfort and perspective when I need it most. And in those moments, I can't help but feel deeply grateful for the simple, profound gift of the natural world that surrounds us every single day. 19. Practice mindful breathing. Among the many habits I've embraced, the practice of mindful breathing stands out as a profound yet beautifully simple way to anchor myself in moments of chaos. Whenever the weight of stress begins to press down, or life feels like it's rushing by too fast, I pause. I close my eyes, inhale deeply, and focus on the gentle rhythm of my breath, the cool air entering, the warmth as it leaves. With each breath, I feel a sense of calm enveloping me, as if the world slows just enough for me to find balance again. This small act, seemingly insignificant, holds immense power. It's not just about calming the nerves or reducing anxiety, though it certainly does that. For me, mindful breathing is a bridge to the present moment, a quiet reminder that amidst life's storms, I can find stillness within myself. For older adults especially, this practice offers a gentle, accessible way to navigate the stresses of daily life, to find a sense of peace that transcends age or circumstance. Mindful breathing is more than a coping mechanism. It's a gateway to appreciating life's simple, yet profound beauty. It reminds me that life is not a race to be won, but a journey to be experienced fully. The rushing, the striving, they often distract us from the quiet miracles happening all around. By slowing down and breathing with intention, we allow ourselves to see and feel more deeply. These moments of stillness are where joy, clarity, and connection take root. I find that this practice fosters a deep sense of gratitude. Every breath is a gift, a moment to reconnect not just with myself but with the world around me. It's humbling to think that something so basic, something we often take for granted, can hold the key to feeling grounded and whole. Through this practice, I've learned that the richest parts of life aren't found in accomplishments or possessions, but in the moments we choose to savor, a laugh with a loved one, the warmth of sunlight on our skin, or the simple act of just being. No matter where you are on life's path, remember that the moments you embrace today will be the memories you treasure tomorrow. Take the time to breathe, to pause, to appreciate the now. In doing so, you'll not only find peace but also create space for gratitude, love, and reflection. Choose to live with intention, to walk through life slowly, and to let every breath remind you of the beauty that surrounds you. Life is fleeting, but the present moment is infinite, if only we choose to truly be in it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We've covered some truly meaningful insights about the power of mindfulness, the beauty of slowing down, and the incredible impact of small, intentional habits like mindful breathing. Now, it's your turn. What have you learned from this video? Is there one habit or practice that resonated with you the most? Take a moment to reflect, and share one thing you've learned and plan to bring into your daily life in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue to bring valuable insights to you. Until next time, take a deep breath, live mindfully, and cherish the present moment.